بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Let's continue with our studies of Surah Al-Qalam. Alhamdulillah, we did the Nahu or the I'rab of ayah number 1 to 5. We finished that. So inshallah today we'll finish off with the Sarf of ayah number 1 to 5. So whatever Sarf we can be able to manage from this, we shall do that. And then we'll move on to the I'rab of ayah number 6 to 10. We'll see how much we can be able to do of the I'rab. It's not so difficult, but let's see what we can be able to do, inshallah. And of course, if anyone wants to participate, feel free, raise your hand, unmute yourself. I don't have a problem. But otherwise, I'm just going to continue. Okay. So let's start with the Sarf. So we're going to begin, obviously, with the jither. Let me change my keyboard here. So يسطرون, we can see a sin, ta and ra. So satara, that would be the jither. And this is from family 1, satara, yasturu, nasara, yansuru. Same family. So immediately I say nasara, yansuru, you should be doing the sarf in your head. Satara, yasturu, satran, that would be the masdar, fahuwa satirun. Okay. So, and what sigha is this? Yasturun. How do we know what sigha? We look at the beginning and we look at the end. We see it begins with ya, one of the mudara' letters, yant, and it ends with un, which is the plural. So we know this is mudara', right? And then, so we're going to do the sarf saghir of that. So satara, yasturu, satran, fahuwa satirun. Okay, that will be the sarf saghir. You can do the majhul as sutira yustaru satran fahuwa masturun. That's where we get the word mastur from. You can do that as well. And the sarf kabir, so we're going to do the sarf kabir of the mudari'. Once we have identified that is a mudari', we're going to do the mudari'. So huwa yasturu, huma yasturani, and of course hum yasturuna. And there it is. Of course, if you want to do more, you can do more. I just do the basics so that we can keep this at the front of our minds. And what does it mean? It means to write, you can add in rows, because it's a specific kind of writing, not just any kind of writing, or in records even. Okay. Then we have majnoon. Majnoon, so this is maf'ul pattern. Maf'ul pattern. When you hear maf'ul pattern, fa'ala, so what is my fa letter? Ja. What is my ain letter? Na. What is my lam letter? Na again. So we see now this one is ja, na, na. Right? So this is a muda'af type of regularity. The two letters have been doubled. The two letters at the end have been multiplied in a way. That's what we call muda'af. Okay, and this is janna yajunnu. Again, nasara yansuru, family. Right? Majnoon, I said this is maf'ul pattern. If you hear maf'ul, that should already automatically tell you this is ism maf'ul, because it sounds like maf'ul, majnoon. Right? So let's try and do the sarf of it. So again, remember, when two letters are the same, the last two letters are the same, we're going to merge them and we're going to do shadda, right? So we're not going to say janana. Normally it's nasara yansuru, but we're not going to say janana. We're going to say janna. We're going to merge them. Janna yajunnu. That's what we're going to do. Janna yajunnu. Right? So it was supposed to be nasara yansuru yajnunu. See how difficult that is to say? Yajnunu. So no, we merge the two letters. Now it becomes yajunnu. Janna yajunnu junun. Fahuwa jannun. And of course, the majhul version, so that we can get the isim maf'ul. Isim maf'ul, we get it in the majhul version. So we have to do the majhul version. The majhul version is going to be junna. Supposed to be what? Junina. Fu'ila. Right? Like nusira. Junina. But then we are merging the last two letters, so it's going to be junna. Why is it tapping like that? Okay. Yujannu. Yujannu is supposed to be yujinanu. Yunsaru. But then we don't do it like that. So we say يجن, and then of course جنون. فهو مجنون. There it is. And of course, if we're to do the sarf kabir of it, so it's going to be مجنون, مجنونان. And we have the broken plural here. We use majanin. So we use the broken plural for this one. Oh, this one as well. Majnoon. And what does it mean? Be majnoon? Insane. Or you can even say covered in some way. I think we talked about the meanings of it. We talked about what majnoon means. It can either be to be afflicted, to be your mind to be covered. Jannah, it means something that is covered. So majnoon would be a cover. Either your mind is covered or you're possessed. You have a jinn on you. That's why they're called jinn, because they're covered from our eyes, right? So the intellect is covered in a sense. Maybe I should just remove this to avoid ambiguity or to avoid misunderstanding. Okay, then we have mamnoon. Mamnoon, just like majnoon, you already see a similar pattern, so it's going to be a similar case. So this is going to be manna, manana, right? So manana, those are the jither. And again, it's also going to be Nasara family. Same thing we're going to do. It's also the same pattern, ism maf'ul, right? Because you can even hear it the way it sounds. So we're going to do the sarf manna, just like we did before. What's happening? Yamunnu. Manna, just like janna yajunnu. Manna yamunnu. Man, fahuwa mannun. Right? And we're going to do the isim, the majhul, munna, just like we did. Junna, munna, yumannu, just like we did again. Man, fahuwa mamnoon. Mamnoon. Okay, so that's the one. Okay, you can do the safs kabir if you want. Mamnoon, mamnoonan, mamnoonan, mamnoonun. Sounds like so many noon happening there. Mamnoonun. Okay. And what does it mean? Never ending. Something that is never ending. We shall discuss the meanings of it in a deeper manner when we are discussing with in the explanation session, inshallah. Then we have Azim. I think we've done this before, and you should be familiar because it happens a lot in the Quran. This is one of those, whenever we're doing words that are very common in the Quran, make sure you know the sarf of them. These rare ones like mamnoon, they don't happen a lot. I can understand if you don't really practice so much.
So which
But
family is this? Manna Yamanna.
nasara yansuru.
Okay, this is Mudaf.
Yes, just like Jannah yajunnu, same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
go ahead.
Why is mamnoon, mamnoonani, mamnoonuna, and the one above it is majnoon, majnoonani, and then
Majani.
majanin?
Yes,
Oh, is it broken plural?
yes, it is.
And then the bottom one is just straightforward Muslim chart?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes the broken plural is used, and the jam'u, the normal Muslim munchat is not really used because there's no plural for that like that. It only exists in the jam'u taksir, in the broken plural form. Like this one, majnununa, maybe they use it, I don't know, but I've never heard it. I only yani the one that I know is majanin.
Okay. Do you mind just putting a BP next to it so that when we look at the
Okay,
notes? Thank you.
no worries. Okay. Ooh, where did it go? Okay, yeah. There, okay. All right. So yeah, I was talking about Azim. So adim is one of those common words that you just need to know the sarf of it. And you can already see the jithr, ain, dha, and mim, right? And what family is this? This is karuma family. This is karuma family. So already karuma should be playing in your mind. Karuma yakrumu. Fahuwa madha. Fahuwa kareem. So this is where adim is going to come from, right? And of course, this pattern, we call this pattern sifa. Isim sifa, sifa mushabbaha, depending on where you studied. So this, I'm just going to write sifa so that you can understand the basics of it. So let's do the sarf saghir. So aduma. Adu. Where's the thought? Okay, there. Aduma. Karuma yakrumu. So aduma ya'dhumu. فهو so عظمة would be the masdar. عظمة. عظمة, like that. فهو عظيم. We don't have عاظم. We don't have عاظم, so we have عظيم because this is Karuma family. Karuma family, this is how it behaves. Okay? And you can do عظيم, عظيمان, عظيمون, but يعني normally I don't like to do sifa because it can get a bit complication with the broken plurals and whatnot. But yeah, so this one you can do the what is this? Sarf kabir. You can do it. عظيم, عظيمان, عظيمون. You can do it like that. Okay, and what does this mean? Of course, it means great. Great. Okay. تبصر, يبصر. So it comes فستبصر ويبصرون, same family. Okay, so this is بصر. And it's from family number 4. This is أسلم, يسلم. أسلم, يسلم. So what kind of صيغة is this? So تبصر, يبصر, يبصرون. This is مضارع. Right? So let's do the sarf. So أبصر, the ماضي. أبصر يبصر. إبصار. فهو مبصر. مبصر. We're not going to do the passive line. I don't see the need for it. You can do it if you want, but yeah, let's skip it. So let's go to مضارع. So هو يبصر. هما يبصران. هم يبصرون. And because we're looking for the enter version, so we already found one, يبصرون, but we want to continue, we want to find تبصر. So here, تبصر, but that's not the one we were looking for. That doesn't mean enter. That means what? That means here. هما تبصران, هن يبصرن. So this becomes, yeah, again, يبصرن. And then now we are back to تبصر, أنت تبصر, and then أنتما تبصران, and then أنتن, أنتم, sorry, تبصرون. أنتم تبصرون. This is the one we're looking for. So remember, just in the مضارع, تبصر can either be here or it can be أنت. But we're looking for أنت. أنت تبصر. Right? And what does it mean? So soon you will see. That's the first one. And then the second one, they will see. Okay, are we good? Yes, Amir.
Hey, Command. Just a quick question. I'm a little rusty. In the Sarf Sahir form, the Azim is taking what position? Is it? It's not Ism. It's a Sifa. I understand Sifa Mushabba, but what in the Sarf Sahir? Which position is it taking?
The position
In
of
the,
isim sifa mushabbah. That's the position. I mean, so the thing is, in Bayina, we only learned a number of positions, right? So we
Right.
learned the madi, mudari', masdar, the isim fa'il, isim maf'ul, and so on. But there are other positions, like you have mubalagha, here in this case, isim sifa, isim ala. You have other positions that it can take. So in this case, it's the sifa.
Oh, okay. That I understand. Okay, it's not part of the Bayana Sarf Sahir. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's one of the extras that we did
Oh,
not learn.
got it.
Yeah.
Jazakallah.
Okay. وإياكم. Any other questions on the Sarf? Okay, fantastic. So let's move on to the i'rab of ayah number 6. Hopefully we get to ayah number 10. We'll see how it goes. All right. So remember the last time we finished from need to do something. We stopped at فستبصر ستبصر ويبصرون, right? Where is it? Okay. فستبصر ويبصرون. And we said فستبصر, of course, that's the, maybe I should just go back there so we can understand what's happening. Okay, so this is where we ended up. فستبصر ويبصرون. And we said تبصر is the مضارع أنت version. عطف. I said عتق. عطف. This is واو حرف عطف. ويبصرون معطوف. Okay, it goes back to that. So تبصر, what will you see? That's the question we are wondering. What will you see? Allah just said تبصر ويبصرون. And then the next ayah, بأيكم المفتون. So now there are two ways in which we can do the grammar of this ayah. There are two ways. Okay, I'll start with the first one, which is the most obvious one, that this ba is harf jar. Okay, we know ba harf jar, and then ayyi, this one is ism majroor, right? And ayyu is ism istifham, and in this case, obviously it always comes as a mudaf. It's a mudaf, and then the kum would be the mudaf ilayhi. Okay, so together you can look at this as a giant jar majroor, or some kind of like jar majroor, right? Together, and we know jar majroor is muta'alliq to something. So we can say that this بأيكم, the first i'rab, is that it is muta'alliq to what came before it. It's muta'alliq to ستبصر ويبصرون. That's i'rab number 1. Okay, so we can just say this is jar majroor متعلقان بتبصر.
So بأيكم is jar majroor, then أيكم is مضاف إليه. Is
Yes.
it right?
Yes. Right. I think that's easier. That's clear. Okay, so you have متعلق, it goes back to that. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. Okay, now أيكم. Now, so the question then becomes, what is مفتون? If this is متعلق to what came before, then what is مفتون? So that becomes a bit of a, no, sorry. This is متعلق to what came before. This is متعلق to خبر محذوف. What am I saying? Right? So بأيكم is متعلقان to خبر محذوف, and of course مفتون here would be the مبتدا. You know, just like we have في البيت رجل. في البيت رجل. Or في البيت الرجل. So if I say في البيت جار مجرور متعلق بالخبر مقدم أو محذوف, whatever. And then الرجل would be my مبتدا مؤخر. This is the first way we can look at this. We can say, okay, just simple jar majroor and then the mubtada after it. Okay, is that clear? That's the first way we can look at it. I was confusing myself with the second way.
It's clear, but you probably want to remove this musanna from there. In mutalikan, it's mutaliq now.
It is muta'alliqani because we're talking about two things. So it's jar majroor and isim majroor together.
So the complex, okay.
Yes,
all right.
the whole thing. The complex structure that is jar and isim majroor together, they're muta'alliqani.
Got it.
So why I like to use this term, because this is a term you will find in Arab books. I know in Bayna we just normally say muta'alliq and we stop there. But if you to look at proper grammar books, you would see that they would say muta'alliqani. Yeah. And I like to do that because at the end of the day, I want you to be able to have the confidence to read a grammar book by yourself. And you'd be familiar with these terms as well, inshallah. So that's the first way. The second way, grammarians have said that this ba is za'ida. Ba is za'ida, which is adding emphasis. Like it's making the statement more intense. So if it is za'ida, that means we can remove it and then do the i'rab normally, right? So remember what sentence came before? فَسَتُبْصِرُ وَيُبْصِرُونَ. So we shall say this sentence, this whole sentence now becomes the maf'ul bihi of satubsiru. You will see what? You will see which one of you is actually the insane one. So this one becomes the maf'ul bihi. And this ba is za'ida. So it's supposed to be satubsiru wa yubsirun ayyakum al-maftun. Ayyakum al-maftun. But because ba came in and it bit on ayyi, it became isim majrur. So that's another way of looking at it. So you can say this one is ba is za'ida. So ba, let me just write it so that you can, ba is za'ida, and the rest is now مفعول به في محل نصب. So now this becomes مفعول به في محل نصب. So either it's متعلق or it's مفعول به في محل نصب. And of course it's also a مبتدا. Now it becomes a مبتدا. And then this one becomes your khabar. Or this one becomes your mubtada and this one becomes still your khabar. Either way, right? Either way. But because, either way, because idafa and al, they're both weak. So yeah, you can look at it that way. But the easiest way, I think this first one is easiest. You can just look at it as muta'alliq and a mubtada. Easy lemon squeezy. It doesn't have any complications. There are other ways that they have looked at this ba, but honestly, I don't see the need to complicate. Maybe when we are looking at the explanation session, I will explain to you the implications of this ba. Why is this ba here? What is it doing here? Because either way, this entire sentence is going to be the maf'ul bihi. This entire sentence, whether the ba is there, whether the ba is not there, that entire sentence answers the question what they will see, right? So what is this ba doing here? We shall cover that in the explanation session. There are so many different explanations that the Mufassirun have given, and I don't really want to get into that now. Yes, Sayyidah Fahima.
Salam, can you just club both the ayahs because the ayah 5 and 6 are linked up? And also, can you please explain me after ba zaida being this one, maf'ul bihi fi mahalli nasab is ayyukum, and it's also mubtada how?
So if you, I'm trying to, if I remove that, yeah. So the thing is, if you're to remove the ba, actually won't be mubtada, it will still be khabar. Sorry, I made that mistake. So it will still be muta'alliq bil khabar, just like before. It should still be muta'alliq bil khabar. Okay, so if you're to remove the ba, just imagine the sentence starts with from here. Ayyukum al-maftun. Ayyukum al-maftun, right? So we'll say al-maftun is my mubtada. Ayyukum is muta'alliq bil, it's basically the khabar, or you can still look at it as mubtada. Yeah, it is mubtada. Subhanallah, why am I confused? Mubtada. Okay. So imagine the ba is not there, and we're just looking at this sentence. Ayyukum al-maftun. How would we do the i'rab? We shall say ayyu isim istifham mubtada. That's what we'll say. And of course, it's also a mudaf, and the kum with the attached pronoun mudaf ilayhi. And we'll say al-maftun is the khabar, if we did not have this ba connecting it to anything else. But now that we have this ba, and we're saying that this ba is za'ida. Ba za'ida does not change the grammar. If you remove it, the meaning does not change. This is what ba za'ida does. So the grammar of it will not change. It will still be maf'ul bihi, right? This whole sentence will still be maf'ul bihi. And inside that maf'ul bihi, what do you have? You have a mubtada and a khabar. Is it clear?
So, Sister,
Yeah.
Ilham, 1 second. Okay, I'll just make myself clear. If because ba is there, but ba doesn't have any effect on the era, so then it becomes simply the maf'ul bihi of tubsirun, right? In that
So this
maf'ul
entire
bihi, we have
this entire
ayyukumul
sentence,
maf'ul becomes
uh-huh,
maf'ul bihi.
it's
And in
the
that
maf'ul
maf'ul
bihi.
bihi, ayyukum is mubtada and maftum is khabar. Is it?
Yes. So let me do this. Let me put a bracket there. And so you have a mubtada and al-maftun will be your khabar. So what we have is,
It's written correctly though. I think it's ayyikum. It's not. It should not. There shouldn't be two yas. You already have the shadda on it, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes they write it like this.
Oh, they do with the extra ya.
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to confirm because I copied directly from the Mus'haf, but I will
Okay.
confirm. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Sayyidah Fahima, did you understand? So if we're to remove the ba, this whole entire sentence is still the maf'ul bihi. Because this is a mubtada and a khabar. This entire sentence is still a maf'ul bihi fi mahalli nasab. But inside that statement, inside that jumla sentence, we have now a mubtada and then we have a khabar. Right? So now we won't call it muta'alliq, we will call it يعني مبتدا.
So it is that like a jumla ismiya. Then
Yes,
why
it is
we
a
say
jumla ismiya.
it is maf'ul?
Because it's مفعول به not of this sentence, مفعول به of what the sentence came before. فستبصر ويبصرون. ستبصر ماذا? What
Okay.
will you see? أيكم مفتون المفتون. Which one of you is insane? This is what you would see. So it goes back to the sentence before it.
So then ayyukum we can say mudaf mudaf ilayh.
It is a مضاف مضاف إليه, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, those are the two ways. It's such a short sentence, but it has a lot of complications, this one, as we shall see in the grammar sessions, inshallah. Okay, then we have إن ربك هو أعلم بمن ضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بالمهتدين. So let's begin with إن. إن we know حرف مشبه بالفعل, حرف نصب, however you want to call it. Yeah, so that's a حرف. And it's إن and then رب. So inna and its ism. And then rabba is mudaf and ka is mudaf ilayhi. So we see this is like one bucket. It's one bucket, inna and its ism, and the ism is a mudaf ilayhi. So I'm just going to call this mubtada because we don't have enough space to write all that stuff, but you understand what is happening. So this is my mubtada bucket. Then I have huwa. So I'm looking for my khabar. Now I can say, okay, this entire thing starts my khabar, and I can say this sentence, this new sentence is my khabar. That's one way of doing it. So I can either say, huwa is my khabar, okay, and that would be correct. Or I can say that this huwa is damirul fasl. Okay, now you're probably wondering what is damirul fasl? Damirul fasl, so if I say khabar, I think that's clear. The sentence is the khabar. But if I say damirul fasl, this is an independent pronoun that comes between the mubtada and the khabar to add emphasis. Like, no, it is him. I'm talking about him. Inna rabbaka huwa. Indeed, your Rabb, he is. So you understand, like, it adds a little bit of emphasis. So this is damirul fasl. Okay. Yes, Amir.
The Damirul Fasl
Yeah, damirul
always
fasl.
comes with a marfa. Doesn't it come with definite
After it or before it? I don't.
after it?
No. Well, I mean, yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's not a must. That is
Okay.
because sometimes the khabar, we don't know what the khabar. We always say that the khabar is almost always nakira. We say this statement. So we expect the khabar to be nakira.
Oh, I see.
So if the khabar comes with al on it, then we are confused. Is it really a khabar? We don't know. So sometimes we bring the damirul fasl to identify, distinguish between the mubtada and the khabar. But
That's
doesn't
what
mean
I
that
had in
every
mind.
time the
Okay.
khabar will have al on it.
Okay, but you will still call the Samir al-Fasl even if there's not a
Al
definite.
on it.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
I will still call it damirul fasl because this damir has come between a mubtada and a khabar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are two ways of looking at this huwa. That's the thing. Either it's the beginning of my khabar for inna, or it's just a damirul fasl. Either way, a'lamu would be khabar. Either way, a'lamu would be khabar. Either khabar of huwa or khabar of inna. If I say huwa is the beginning of my khabar statement, then I look at the khabar. Inside that khabar, what do I have? I have a mubtada and I have a khabar. And this entire sentence is also the khabar of inna. That's one way of looking at it. If I say huwa is, let me remove all that. If I say huwa is just a dhamirul fasl, then this would be mubtada and this again would be mubtada. That's how we would do the i'rab of it. So mubtada and then khabar. That's how we would do the i'rab. Either way, it boils down to more or less the same thing.
When you
Okay?
say mubtada, you are not saying it's a badal, is it?
No. We say
Okay, all
mubtada
right.
and mubtada.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are ways in which we can do that. So a'lamu is the khabar. Okay? Then we go to biman. So ba harf jar, man isim majroor. And we know that most of the time, I say most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, jar majroor is going to be muta'alliq to something. It's going to be attached to something. So what is it muta'alliqani to? It's muta'alliqani to a'lamu bil khabar. So it's muta'alliq bil khabar. And the khabar is a'lamu. So muta'alliqani bi a'lamu. And again, I'm writing it like this because this is how you're going to see it in Arab books. You will not see muta'alliq bil khabar in Arab books. You would see muta'alliqani bi a'lamu. And then you would know, oh, it's got buzz to a'lamu because a'lamu is the khabar. Okay. All right.
Oh, what you're saying is jar and majroor, there are two things. That's why it's written mutakal. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Ali,
Yes.
okay. I
That's
thought
why.
you were saying it before because there was a complex ism or complex phrase.
No, it's
That's
because
why.
jar
Okay.
is a harf jar. Isim
Yeah,
majroor is
yeah.
the isim that comes after it. So they're two
Okay,
things.
those two. Okay, together. Okay.
Yeah, together. Yeah. And of course, man here is isim mawsul. Okay. So man is isim mawsul, and then whatever comes after it, dhalla is going to be my silatul mawsul. Right? And inside my sila, what type of word is dhalla? Dhalla is actually fi'al madi. Dhalla yadhallu, to be misguided. So fi'al madi, and the fa'il is huwa. Huwa dhalla. Dhalla an sabilihi. So an حرف جار, سبيلي اسم مجرور, سبيلي مضاف, the attached pronoun ها مضاف إليه. So again, we see that this one is another jar مجرور. So we're going to say متعلقان ب. Now here we have a فعل. Again, in Arab books, you would not see متعلقان بالفعل. You would see متعلقان بضل. So they would mention the exact word that it is متعلق to. So متعلقان بضل. Right? Now this ha here, this ha, most mufassirun would say that this ha goes to Allah, goes back to Rabbaka. Inna Rabbaka huwa a'lamu biman dalla an sabilihi, يعني عن سبيل الله, the path of Allah, عن سبيله. Some say that this ha goes back to man. Isim mawsul, this is the a'id. It goes back to man. The person is lost from his own path. But of course, the most superior meaning is that this path is the path of Allah, the one who is lost from the path of Allah, the one who is misguided from the path of Allah, right? So that's just a point of observation there. Questions? Are we good? Okay.
Salam, it's basically Eid, right? If it is
Yes.
in both the cases, either it is going back to Allah or it is someone who is dead, then it's an Eid.
No, because if we take that this is going back to man, then it's the aid because it's connecting the silatul mawsul and isim mawsul. But if it's not, then it's referring to somebody else, which is referring to Allah.
If it is referring to somebody else, then also we have to mention Eid, right? No?
So here's the confusion,
mismatches.
and I think this is what confuses us in Baina, because we said the aid comes when there's a mismatch. I think that was a wrong understanding, because we have that statement. We see the aid when there's a mismatch, but here's the thing: aid is a pronoun that comes to connect the isim mawsul with the silatul mawsul. Otherwise, there's no connection between the two, right? So isim mawsul is a fragment, if you will. Silatul mawsul is also another fragment. Now, I want to combine these two fragments together. In Arabic, if I want to do that, I have to bring a pronoun. This pronoun will act like a connector between the two, and it has to like match. So if I say man, the pronoun inside man is huwa. I bring a silatul mawsul, and there has to be a pronoun huwa inside of this silatul mawsul that tells me these two things are connected, right? So if I say that this ha is a mismatch, this ha is referring to something else. This ha is not my a'id. The ha that will be my a'id is the huwa inside dhalla. Huwa dhalla. Man dhalla, huwa dhalla. This is what is connecting the two fragments together. That's my a'id. This sabilihi, if I'm saying it goes back to Allah, then this pronoun, yes, it's a'id, but not a'id to man. It's a'id to who? It's a'id to rabbaka. It goes back to, what does a'id mean? To return. So this pronoun, yes, it is returning, but it's not returning to isim mawsul. It is returning to rabbaka. So it's what we call a mismatch in Baina. I don't know if you understood the argument.
It doesn't mean like I should come only in the case of it's a mawsul, little mawsul. It could come as an extra pronoun which can go back to anywhere.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
Yeah. So the concept of aid, let me show you. I think I did a summary somewhere. I'm just gonna go back to my Arabic notes. Where did I do it? Where did I? Was it? I think it was here. The comeback kit, yes, aid. So this aid basically is just a pronoun that keeps coming back. It comes back to the thing before, connecting two things. You can see that when we have isim mawsul and silatul mawsul, we have this pronoun called aid. When we have compound sifa, alladhi something, and then we have alladhi after it, we have aid, a pronoun that will connect the mawsuf and this compound sifa. We have to have a pronoun that connects the two fragments. Al-hal, if it's a jumla ismiya, if it's a jumla fi'liya or a jumla ismiya, doesn't really matter. If you have that case, so the hal has to have a pronoun that will connect back to the sahibul hal. So this is still a'id. Al-ishtighal, also in the concept of ishtighal. For example, was-samaa banaynaha. Banaynaha. This ha goes back to as-sama. So you have this word, anyway, we'll discuss about al-ishtighal, but that's the point we're trying to make. You have two fragments, you have two things, and you want to mush them together, you want to bring them together, but how do you make that connection? Using a pronoun. There has to be a pronoun that connects the two. So this pronoun has to match between the two. And na'at as-sababi, the same thing. These are a little bit complex topics that I don't want to get into, but the idea is you have two fragments of two pieces of words that you want to connect together, you want to bring together. And the way you connect is you connect using this word called, or a pronoun called a'id, that connects between the two. That's the whole idea of a'id, right? So once you find the a'id that matches, like in this case, so in this case, if I say the pronoun inside man is huwa, The pronoun inside dalla is also huwa. So that's a match. Okay, it has matched. So what is this? Who is it going back to? It can either go back to this huwa again, or it can go back to something else. Rabbaka. Right?
Yes, it makes sense. Can I ask a quick question about who the Damir al-Fasl? Just a quick question.
Sure.
I mean, Arab books that I've ever read, I mean, all of them pretty much say that they don't have any Arab. So if you're making it as a Mubtada, then Mubtada has an Arab.
Damir al-Fasl
You know what I'm
is
saying?
mubtada.
Yeah, but Zamir al-Fasl does not, it's La Mahala, right? It doesn't have any Arab.
It is?
That's what the Arab book says, at least the one, two or three that I read.
I am not so sure about that, to
Okay,
be
all
honest.
right, that's fine. Okay.
I will confirm. Again, I
Okay,
don't want
Jazakallah.
to, yeah. Thank you for asking that. That's something I need to confirm, inshallah. Because I know that it's just treated like a normal ism. Because it's not like a sentence, or maybe, I don't know. I will check. Right.
Sister Ilham, I'm so sorry. I have to
Go
answer
ahead.
more, otherwise it just keep spinning in my head. You said
No, it's
it's a
fine.
masul compound al-hal wishtagal and nasabiyya. Then if you can find the chances of having an I there, right? And what is the case here that we can take this he as an I, then which is going back to Rabbaka, Rabba.
So, like I told you, there are two ways of looking at this ayah. Either you're saying that this ha goes back to the huwa in dalla, and the huwa in dalla goes back to man. So there's no mismatch. It's a complete match everywhere. So this person is lost from his own path. He's misguided from his own path. He's on a path and he's misguided on it. Okay? No mismatch. But if there's a mismatch, so we have man, the inside pronoun is huwa. Dhalla, the inside pronoun is huwa. Okay, so there's a match between the isim mawsul and the silatul mawsul. We found the a'id. Okay, so those two fragments have come together, have been connected by way of the a'id, the pronoun huwa. Fine. Okay, what about this ha? Is it going back to the pronoun inside huwa, or is it going back to something else? I can say, okay, fine, this ha is going back to something else, Rabbaka, because the path belongs to Allah. So عن سبيله, this huwa is going back to Rabbaka. سبيله يعني سبيل الله, the path of Allah. Is it clear?
Perfect, sister. Jazakallah khair.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So just remember, I think it's because we wired in our brains that whenever there's a mismatch, then we expect a'id. This was the phrase. But I think you need to just erase that statement from your mind. The a'id comes whether there's a mismatch or whether there's a match. The a'id will come. Because what is the purpose of the a'id? The purpose of the a'id is to connect the isim mawsul, one fragment or one part of the fragment, if you will, to another part of that same fragment, the silatul mawsul. And I've shown you like it comes in other fragments as well. So it's not isim mawsul only. Other fragments as well, we have this pronoun that keeps coming back to connect the two parts together. Clear?
So I remember, if I'm not wrong, that Ustaz said we can translate the ayat and also we cannot translate also. Then it is
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so if there's a match, you don't need to translate it. If there's a mismatch, like for example, how I translated it, I said, Biman dhalla an sabilihi, and we're saying this ha goes back to the pronoun inside dhalla, goes back to the pronoun inside ma. So there's a full match. If there's a full match, you don't need to translate it. You don't need to say who is misguided on his path. I can say just the one who is misguided on the path or something like that. But if you want, you can translate it as well. Like you don't, in English, it sounds weird, yes, to translate it.
So in this ayah, we can translate it. Is it right?
Sorry, say that again.
In this ayah, we can translate it like
Yeah,
an
in this
sabilihi.
ayah, we'll translate it because this ha goes back to the pronoun Allah.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so an sabilihi, and from the path his path with capital H.
If it is met, we can translate it. If it is not met, then
Yeah, but we'll see, even in this case, we'll still translate it because it makes it a bit clear. We'll look at the translation and we'll see, inshallah. Hopefully
so
it
like
become.
I mean, in which case we cannot translate it?
For example, if there's a match, like for example, man dhalla. If I just said man dhalla, I don't say whoever he is misguided. Or man dhalla who, if there was a who here, actually that won't be correct grammatically because dhalla is lazim, it comes with an. So let's say dhalla anhu. If I said just dhalla anhu, let me type it here. So if we had dhalla anhu, okay, so this who goes back to dhalla, it goes back to man. Okay, how do I translate this? Whoever misguides from it, I don't mention it. Just whoever is misguided. I don't say whoever is misguided from him. Again, becomes, it doesn't, in English, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, okay, that is why. That's it.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't make sense. That's why.
yeah. All right. Yeah, okay, I mean, no problem. I think, yeah, so that's normally always the issue, was is it Basra school of thought or is it Kufa? Yeah. Yeah, so that could be probably why. Yeah. Yeah, so either it could be مبتدا or it could be لا محل لها من الإعراب. لا محل له من الإعراب. Yes, you're right. Yeah, so it could either be any one of those. Okay. Yeah, thanks for that. Any other questions? Okay. So let's finish this ayah, then we can look at the translation. I forgot to look at the translation in the first ayah. وحرف عطف. This one is here there's no complication. It's just هو أعلم وهو أعلم. You can see that it is معطوف حرف عطف and معطوف, because you can see how it just follows exactly what was mentioned before. And we're going to do the same i'rab as well, because it's the same i'rab. Okay, so you can either say so this is going to be معطوف, and inside that معطوف, what do we have? We have هو is my مبتدا, and of course أعلم is going to be my خبر. And then we have بالمهتدين, با حرف جار, المهتدين اسم مجرور, and together we're going to say متعلقان بأعلم. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Clear? All right. Let's look at the translation so far. This is which eye? فستبصر ويبصرون بأيكم المفتون. So this is kind of where we're beginning from. Okay. بأيكم المفتون. This is a bit clearer. So بأيكم المفتون, which of you, المفتون is, I like the afflicted one. I like this this explanation. I don't like mad, because mad is majnoon. But afflicted with madness, this one, or even just afflicted, this one, it's a good explanation for the word, because maftoon comes for fitna. Fitna is to be afflicted. We know this. Fitna means a trial, a test, an affliction, right? So to be afflicted. But here, to be afflicted with madness, that's the meaning that they are trying to say, right? So that's how they're using it. Which of you is afflicted with madness? Which of you is afflicted with madness? These ones are my favorites so far. This one is my least favorite. This one, okay, fine. Same group with this one. Like, yeah. Anyway, okay. So that one, translation-wise, there's not a lot happening. Then now we have the seventh ayah. إن ربك هو أعلم بمن ضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بالمهتدين. So surely your Lord alone. Why is this alone here? Because damirul fasl. There's a bit of emphasis happening there. So inna rabbaka huwa a'lamu biman dalla an sabili, who has strayed from, again, look at his with a capital H, his way, referring to Allah, and who is rightly guided, and وَهُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُهْتَدِينَ. And then Tiusmani we have, surely your Lord knows best. So the thing is, هو أعلم, it's not هو الأعلم, or it's not, it's superlative. Don't know why they're translating it as most.
Yeah, that's the I was talking about.
Yeah.
It
So
should
yeah.
be you should consider all in front of it. Somehow they are.
Yeah, maybe he knows better. Allah knows better is what I expected, because that's what it says. Allah knows better, or Allah senses better. Because again, a'lamu bi, when it comes with bi, like it's when it becomes married to harf jar bi, then it has the meaning of sensing, feeling, so on and so forth. But just a'lamu, it will be to know. So Allah senses better. Allah has the better sense, actually. That would be the right way of saying. Allah has the better sense of who has strayed from his way and who is rightly guided. That's how I would translate this. And of course, there's emphasis with inna, and there's also emphasis with the dhamir al-fasl here. Again, most knowing, I don't know why they're saying most knowing, but anyway. Or maybe they're adding the huwa. I don't know why, to be honest. I don't know why. Anyway, was straight from his. Again, you see the his referring to Allah here. Look at T. Usmani. T. Usmani does not translate this as capital H. So he's not referring to Allah's way. He's referring to that person who has strayed from his way, yani the way of this person. So he's linking the way to this person and not to Allah. So you can see that that was his choice, right? Because it can go both ways. But of course, I think the better way is to look at this as Allah's way, because we're talking about the right path. And the right path is Allah's path.
Yeah, but I mean, if somebody afflicted with madness, I mean, he loses his own path as well. So you could see that as well. Yeah.
Nice observation. I like that. Yes. Yeah. See, that's why probably this ha could go both ways. Could either go back to the person, man, or it could go back to Rabbaka, Allah. So yeah. Nice observation there. I like it. Verily, your Lord is best knower. Okay. Of him who has gone astray from his path and his. So kind of the meanings are more or less the same, but less emphatic, surely. Because I think most of them are not really trying to capture the Damirul Fasl he. And it's very difficult to capture it in English anyway, without sounding like you are angry or shouting or something. Like if I just said, surely he knows. People will be like, oh, chill, okay, relax. So kind of maybe that's why it doesn't translate very well in the with the translation. Let's do one more ayah. Let's do ayah number 8. Number 9 has a little bit of complications, just a tiny complication. So maybe we can stop at number 8, inshallah. And then next week or the week after that, we'll begin from 9. Okay, so fa. Oh, there's also a tiny bit of complication here with this fa, but it's not a big complication. This fa is basically the fa that we call fa al-fasiha. So let me just write it and then I will explain what is happening here. So this is fa fasiha. Let's do the i'rab and then I will come back and explain what fa fasiha is. So la tuti'. La tuti'. How am I going to know what kind of la is this? I look at what comes after it. This is supposed to be tuti'u. Tuti'u. So the ya went away. Because the ya went away, I know this one is majzoom. And because it is majzoom, that means that this is la nahiya. It is forbidding. La nahiya. Or la nahi. Let's just write it nahiya. La nahiya. It is forbidding, right? And of course, تطيع would be مضارع مجزوم. مجزوم. And how do I know it's مجزوم? Because the ya disappeared. Okay. لا تطيع. So I'm forbidding, so that Allah is forbidding the Prophet ﷺ to obey who? Al-Mukaththibin. So this answers the question who. And we know anything that answers the question who, it's going to be my maf'ul bihi. Okay, so that's my maf'ul bihi. Mansub. And the alamatul nasb is ya. Yeah, Al-Mukaththibin. We know that the nasab form of the Muslimun chat is ina ending, right? So that's why that's my maf'ul bihi. Is that i'rab clear before I talk about fa fasiha? Are we clear so far? Okay. So let's talk about fa fasiha. Fa fasiha is a kind of fa that comes in a sentence to sort of tell you that there's a hidden jumla shartiya before it. There's a jumla shartiya that is supposed to come here before it, and it was not mentioned because it is understood. In other words, let's go back to the ayah. It says, إِنَّ رَبَّكَ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنْ ضَلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِهِ وَهُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُهْتَدِينَ. Certainly, your Rabb, He knows who is misguided from His path, and He knows who is rightly guided. Right? And if you understood this, then do not obey the mukaththibin. If you know that Allah knows who is rightly guided, and you know who is not guided on his path, who is lost on upon his path, then you won't la tuti' al-mukaththibin. So in other words, there's a sentence here that is missing. Oh, what is happening? There. إن فهمت ذلك. فلا تطع المكذبين. Okay? So what's missing? This جملة شرطية إن فهمت ذلك. If you understood that, then you would not obey the مكذبين. But this sentence has been omitted because it is understood. It is understood from the context that Allah has said something. Allah is the one who knows, who can distinguish, is the one who has a better sense of who is guided and who is not guided. If you understand that, you're not going to obey the mukazzibin. You get how the ayah flows? Is that clear? And so this fa is the one that tells us that there's this hidden jumla shartiya that has been sort of not said, that has not been mentioned. Questions? Okay, let's look at the translation of that ayah and then we can wind up. So number 8, فَلَا تُطِعِ الْمُكَذِّبِينَ. So, in other words, if you understand that, so do not obey those who reject. Do not obey the deniers. Then, if you understand that, then I like this translation the best because it grammatically, it hits the point the best. In terms of grammar, of course. So if you understand that, then do not obey the deniers. Where did I get if you understand that or if you know that? It's hidden. This fa is telling me that. So again, also, so do not yield to those who deny the truth. We shall talk about this idea of tuta' more. And as you can see, different translations everywhere. Obey, do not give in, do not yield. We shall talk about that. Do not obey the deniers, those who belie the verses of Allah, the oneness of Allah, and the messengers. Okay, so here there's a little bit of explanation of what al-mukaththibin is. And also, again, I think this one, the last one, do not then, again, see, do not then, if you know that, do not then, right? As a result of knowing that, do not do this, right? So that's the idea. Yield to those who reject the truth decrying it as false. So the question is, where did he get this stuff? Feels like he's adding things. No, actually, he's trying to capture the meaning of al-mukaththibin. Maybe that's how I would argue it, because kadhaba yukadhibu takdhib has two kinds of meanings. The first meaning is to reject, to deny, to reject. That's why you would see reject, deny. That's the first meaning. The second meaning is to call something a lie. كذبت maybe a khabara. I called his news a lie. I called it a lie. Like I made it to be a lie. And that's why he's calling it, decrying it as false. To falsify something, to cancel something. That would be also the idea of kadhaba. So it has two kind of meanings. They not only rejected it, no, but they called the message a lie. They said the Prophet ﷺ was lying. So it has those two kinds of implications. And yeah, that brings us to the end of today's session. I don't know if there are any questions or clarifications, but I think I would have loved to finish 9 and 10, but 9 has a bit of complication. It's easy, straightforward, but it's been an hour, so I think it's a good place to stop. All right.
Ilham, we've not been
Yes.
doing the Sarf of it. I think from Ayah 1, did we do?
Yes, in the beginning, I think you joined late.
Oh, you've
We-
done it before, huh?
Yeah, we started with that before we came to the Nahu. It was a bit quick. It was a few words only.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll just go back then.
yeah, no worries.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so the week after that, inshallah, we'll start 9, 10, and then do the sarf of, yeah, the sarf is going to be a lot the other week because more words, but it's good practice. It's good practice. وإياكم جزاكم الله خيرا. All right. Okay, guys, it's been lovely, inshallah. Remember, next week is going to be explanation and not nahu, i'rab, and sarf and this stuff. It's going to be explanation, inshallah. We'll continue from where we stopped. I think we stopped at ayah number 2, probably. So we'll continue from that. And I will see you guys next week. If you have anything, you can share in the group, inshallah. Or just let me know, message me privately. Okay. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. See you guys next week.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Ilham.
You're welcome, my dear.